we're going to multiply and divide these rational expressions. Now, in order to multiply these two, you could start canceling diagonally and so forth, but let's just simply multiply straight across first, because when you multiply fractions, you multiply tops and multiply bottoms. So let's just simply do that first. Negative 3 times 2 is negative 6. X to the 5th times y squared. You can't combine those, so it's simply going to be x to the 5th y squared. So I multiplied the whole top. Now I multiply this. 4 times 6 looks like it's going to be 24. And then those can't combine. I'm going to put the x first because I want them on top of each other, and the y to the 4th second. So all I did is multiply straight across, and now things look nice and neat, and we could actually simplify this. In order to simplify this, we focus in on this. Negative 6 divided by 24. That looks like it's going to be negative 1/4. And right here, that's like a first power there if you want to think of it that way. 5 minus 1. That's going to be x to the 5 minus 1. I'm showing my work. Most of you know that's 4. But just thought I'd show the work. And this last one is going to be y 2 minus 4. You're going to subtract those. So when we do all that, it looks like we're going to get negative 1/4. 5 minus 1 is 4. And 2 minus 4 is negative 2. Now, are we done? No, because are we allowed negative powers? No. We're not allowed negative powers, so my answer, well, on top we have a negative 1, which the negative could be on top or bottom. It's your call. I'm actually going to put it to the bottom. Sorry, the x to the 4th stays up here. I'm going to make this a negative 4. I'm going to bring the negative down with the 4. It doesn't matter if it's top or bottom. And the y squared goes to the bottom because the negative powers drop. Again, that could be a negative 1 up top or a negative 4 on the bottom. It doesn't really matter. Number 2. Number 2 is very similar to number 1, except it's divide. Now, when you have divide, here's what you got to know. With division, you keep the first piece. But you make it a multiply, and you flip the second piece. So the y is on top, and the 10x y to the negative second is now on the bottom. Now, we multiply straight across. So we flip the second one and make it a multiply. When I multiply straight across, I now have negative 30 x to the 8th y, because that y can't combine with that. And on the bottom here, we have a 10 x to the 3rd times x to the 1st. So 3rd and 1st, isn't that x to the 4th? And 1st, negative 2nd, we add those. So 1 and negative 2 want to be y to the negative 1st. Again, powers, when you're multiplying, you add. All right, let's see. Oops. That right there, negative 30 divided by 10 looks like negative 3. And let's see. 8 minus 4 looks like it's going to be x to the 4th. And that's a 1. This gets people. 1 minus a negative 1, people want to say 0. But that's actually, 1 minus negative 1 is actually 2. Are any of those powers negative? No. So we don't have to move anything. They're all on top. All the fractions dropped out. There's my answer. I'm done. It's kind of nice. So, when you have division, flip the second one and multiply. Multiply straight across, and then simplify. Both these are very similar. Number 3. What we're going to do for this one is we change all divisions to multiply, and then we factor all the pieces. So let's leave the first piece. Let's factor this. What you're going to get is you pull out a 2. This has a 2, GCF of 2, leaving you x squared minus 1. The 4x down here. So we factor the top, leave the bottom. Changes to a multiply. So this bottom jumps to the top. So right here I could pull a GCF of, looks like 2x out. 2x times what gives you this? Looks like x. 2x times x gives you 2x squared. 2x times what gives you 4x? Looks like 2. For the top, if I'm going to factor the top, if you do a little diamond, a little x thing, it looks like it's going to be x plus 2, x plus 1. Again, if for the top, if you do this thing, 2 on top, 3 on bottom, it looks like that'd be a 2 and a 1. And from there, we start canceling. Now, since there's a multiply here, you can actually cancel top and bottom, but you can also cancel diagonally. It's kind of a cool little ability to do that. Before we cancel diagonally, let's look top and bottom. Looks like this can cancel. Nothing else, but can't this cancel with this, leaving you 2? And can I cancel this x and this x out? And let's see what else. Oh, doesn't this 2 cancel with this 2? Lots of things cancel, leaving you on top. Looks like we have x squared minus 1. That's all that's left on top. And on bottom, we have x plus 1. So we cancel a whole bunch of stuff. Remember, you could do it diagonally or top and bottom. And, oh wait, actually, I can factor that. Huh, that's a difference of squares. I can still factor that. This is x plus 1, x minus 1. You've got to be really good at factoring and do these problems. Oh, oh, that's interesting. This will now cancel with this. Oh man, all this simplifies down to simply x minus 1. Again, I factored top and bottom, and by the way, I made it multiply and flipped it. And then I started canceling all sorts of stuff, and there's my answer.